Hey, what's up, y'all? So, I say probably for this past year to year and a half, I just have been wrestling with God with so much, especially like dealing with the desires of my heart and what I wanted to go after. And, I would start a process of going after things that I wanted to do. Then I stopped feeling like, oh no, God, do you really want me to do this? And I would stop for a while, and I would pick it back up, get excited. I would stop again, and for a long time, I mean, like I said, a year, 2 years, I had just been praying because I didn't want to do anything that was outside of God's will. Like I really wanted to do what God wanted me to do, and I didn't want to be wrong in that and going after things that I wanted to do and not what He wanted to do. I didn't want it to be for selfish reasons or for glory or for fame. I just wanted to live for God and do His will. About a month ago, God just spoke to me and revealed so much to me and to my heart. There was this conference that I decided to do. The topics in the conference were something I was really interested in studying, and I ended up getting something out of the conference that I didn't even expect to get. It was like the revelation of the heart. But it started with how we're created in God's image, in the image of God. And then it went from that to how we're supposed to be God's imagers and go out and spread His image, spread His glory. The image of God, we have His mind, His thoughts, His characteristics. All those things is within us through His Spirit. And our job is to go out there and spread God's image to the world so they can see who He is. And then He started talking about what He created. Then He went into the revelation of the new heart. The heart is broken down into 4 sections. You got desires, you have your will, emotions, and your mind. Your mind tells you all these things that you want to do. And then you have your emotions. Your emotions triggers when you're not accomplishing the things that you know you're here to truly do. And then you have those desires. The desires are all the things that you love, that gives you passion, that brings you life, the way you're wired. And that is what I was struggling with. Like I had these desires in my heart and I just didn't know, like, God, do you want me to go after this? From the beginning, God's plan was to create us a new heart, remove our heart of stone, give us a heart of flesh. I think He talks about that in maybe Ezekiel, and give us a new heart to where He can live within us. God was speaking through that lesson, like, I have your heart. A new heart has been created in you. You love me. You do everything in your might to have a relationship with me. The desires of your heart I am okay with. I know that it isn't for your glory. So what do you want to do? All these things I placed in your heart for a reason. I wired you away for a reason. I want you to go after these things. But first you have to get that new heart. All these years of building a foundation in Christ, going after a deeper relationship with Him. God saying, I trust you. I approve of you. My father passed when I was 6, so I never really understood the Father's approval. But in that moment, when God spoke to me through that, I was like, oh, God approves of me. He approves of the desires of my heart. And I felt so free in that moment. It just opened up a whole new world to me. God approved of me. And I just felt like I could just take over the world. God, He had desires Himself. He had the desire to create the world, create us. And He gives us those same desires so we can go out there and create. As long as we have that foundation with Him, that relationship with Him, the desires that He puts in your heart, He approves of. In Proverbs 13, where it talks about that a hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a desire or a dream fulfilled is like a tree of life. Those desires are down there, and God wants us to pull them up and go give them to the world. That moment when I felt I have God's approval, it was an amazing, amazing feeling. And so do you. You're approved by God as well. Peace.